Hey guys, welcome back to Amber and Cass Keeping It Real. I am Cass.
And I'm Amber.
And if you're new here, welcome. If not, like I said, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about cancel culture. Basically, cancel culture is, I guess, more of like an online internet thing now since everything is, social media based. Basically, society or people will cancel a certain person or corporation that they don't necessarily see eye to eye with, or have said, offensive things about a certain group, race, whatever it may be. If you wanted to add anything to that.
Yeah, I completely agree. In today's society, so much is like put out there. So a person says something or does something, even today or years past, it comes back, and then maybe years past, no one really cared, but today, that people are kind of like taking what people are saying and saying, okay, is that what you believe? Because if that's what you believe, that's not what we believe, so you're canceled. So people are getting fired, they're losing their endorsements, and then just getting like public shamed, and kind of
Yeah,
blacklisted in Hollywood.
yeah. Exactly. So some examples, the newest one is Chrissy Teigen, who some tweets resurfaced from years ago. She didn't say for the girl to kill herself, but she insinuated it. She basically said she would love to see her like in a take a dirt nap, was what she said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The girl was 16 at the time. I'm not too sure how old Chrissy was, but she's definitely an adult.
yeah.
And if you don't know who she is, she's John Legend's wife. She has her Cravings line, which is cookware, things like that. I know she did lose some endorsements. I'm not too sure who canceled her. I think it was Macy's or something.
Mm-hmm.
One of the department stores, a couple of department stores actually. Also Ellen DeGeneres for, not being fair to Black people or really not hiring Black people at her show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you had one, the girl from The Bachelor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was gonna say with Chrissy Teigen, the other girl was Courtney Stodham, I think her name was, and she was like on a reality show, and she was married to like a much older man, and like you were saying, she was like really young, and she kind of like dressed and looked like an older person, but she was like, her age was young, and then Ellen DeGeneres, and then this other woman, from The Bachelor, she got kind of canceled, and even the bachelor decided not to pick her, or at the end he told her like, let's be separated because like this is too much, like I can't deal with it, because he was black, he was African American, and she was white, and she went to an antebellum themed party when she was in a sorority, and of course this happened years ago, but it came back up, people released those photos, or maybe she had posted them on like a Facebook or a MySpace or whatever was out when she posted those. And so those photos came back up, and it kind of came out that, she went to this party and she didn't really see anything wrong with it. So that's kind of where, people were like, cancel her. She needs to go. Like they, labeled her as a racist. Yeah. So
So
do we want to
I'm not too familiar with that story. So at the time that she went,
mm-hmm.
she wasn't aware of how it could be offensive. But fast
Yes.
forward to today, when it all resurfaced, what were her views still the same, or did she realize?
No. So when it came to the surface, and she like, it was the Bachelor, where they kind of talk about after the show. I don't know what it's called, like after the Bachelor, and it's kind of like months have passed, right? Because we see it as we think it's in real time, but obviously it happened 3 months ago. So
Yeah.
they've had 3 months to just hide until now they can come forward and say they're a couple. And so he picked her obviously, but then when he was sitting on the couch and he's like, they're asking her, what do you think? She was like, I don't really see anything wrong. And and he was just like, you know what? You need to deep dive and like learn from this and like go reach out. He's like, but for me, I'm not going to be the person that's going to teach you, because he's like, I don't have it in me, to kind of be in a relationship with you and try to teach you why this is wrong. So he's like, so I want you to work on yourself before, we can be together. And to be honest, that did irritate me a little bit, because I'm like, okay, you just proposed to this woman and you said you love her and like you want to be with her, and now all this comes out that she went to this party. Not necessarily did she like say like white power or like, whatever it was. She went to this party when she was in a sorority. Who knows how old she was? Was she 20? Was she 19? Was she just going along? Because a lot of people die in sororities, right? Because
they do. They're ride or dies. Yeah.
They just go along. I mean, if they say crawl on the floor, you crawl on the floor. They say jump in the ocean at 1 a.m, you jump in the ocean naked. Whatever the rules are. A lot of times it's like scary to the point where people end up dying because they kind of just go along with whatever the sorority is saying. So for me, I was a little like, okay, of course that was wrong. Like the party was wrong. What she did was wrong. But as her man, and if you're going to be someone's man, you're also going to be their friend, right? Mm-hmm. So as a friend, you're telling me you're not going to like help me out a little. You're not going to try to enlighten me a little and like, but maybe he just felt like he didn't have it in him. I mean, I get that, but I was just like, dang, you're just going to like tell her, go, figure it out on your own and then come back to me once you figured it out. I was like, that's kind of messed up, because I just feel like as a person that's married and been married for a long time, a lot of things you do in a partnership, like you can't just tell the other person, go do you, or figure it out and come back to me once you've learned. Sometimes you got to spell things out. Sometimes you have to have consideration. You have to have understanding. So that kind of like irritated me. And then as far as cancel culture, I was like, should she be canceled for something that happened, in her youth? I was like a little like confused. I felt like maybe not necessarily canceled, but more enlightened, because I do think a lot of times cancel culture is harmful, because then it kind of makes people close their mouth, right? Now no one's going to share. No one's going to have the chance, or someone's not going to have the chance to kind of enlighten people, because people are just so scared. If they say the wrong thing, they're going to get canceled, So it's like we should be able to have an open conversation without saying, oh, you're done, we're done with you, we don't want to have anything, because no one's learning anything from that. They're, you know what I mean, they're just like, now they're learning, don't say anything, don't open your mouth, don't share any of your thoughts.
I agree with you on that, only if the individual is open to being, educated on a certain topic, whatever it is. Sounds to me like the girl didn't really, fast forward 15, 20 years. I don't know how old she was, how old she is now. Mm-hmm. But if she's saying, she sees nothing wrong with it today, it's like, where have you been? Like, were you not, were you under a rock? I don't understand. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, in this certain case, I think that had she said, you know what, maybe I should look into it, maybe it was wrong, instead of just saying, I don't see anything wrong with it. Because that to me just shows that she's like closed off. There's no like room for improvement, what I mean? So I think maybe, again, I didn't see it, I don't know these people, but if she's not open to the idea of learning on that subject, then I can understand why he would say, I'm not even going to waste my time, because if you're willing to open your mind a little bit and, educate yourself, or let me help you educate yourself, why waste my time? Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of gets like iffy with me. It's like, yes, I do think that people or corporations or businesses, whatever you want to call them, we do as people, as society, have the right to cancel them if they are not willing to take accountability and, educate themselves on whatever the topic is. I'm not saying, like you're saying, oh, you're just canceled, like, bye. You know what I mean? That's to me, that's not okay. You have to give that, especially if it happened 20 years ago, 15 years ago, even 2 years ago. Like, we are not the same humans as we were a year ago. So, and that's the thing with the internet, you say one thing and you tweet it, even if you delete that tweet, it's still there,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I don't know if you know Sabrina Claudio, she's a singer. She was going ham on Twitter. I don't even understand how she is who she is today.
Yeah.
She was calling people very mean things on the internet, and people
Yeah.
forgave her. That's another thing. It's like, did they forgive her because they just like her music?
Hmm.
Because then that's not fair to the other person. You know,
Yeah.
like that's not fair to the girl from The Bachelor, like because they did the same thing essentially.
Hmm.
In my
Hmm.
opinion, Sabrina Claudio was a lot worse. Um,
Hmm.
so like you're gonna forgive this person just because you like her music and it's soulful,
Yeah.
but you're gonna cancel this girl because of whatever. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Is that's
Yeah.
not fair to me. So I think
Hmm.
there's just so many like roads that just like go like this to the whole cancel culture idea that
Hmm.
I think people need to be consistent
Hmm.
in their beliefs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just like pick and choose. You have to be, because that who are you then at that point? You don't
Hmm.
even know who you are because you don't know who
Yeah.
you want to believe and who you want to cancel and who you want to forgive. Like
Hmm.
me personally, I would at least give that person an opportunity to explain themselves
Yeah.
before I make that decision. And then it's like these celebrities, like we don't know these celebrities, you know, like
Yeah, we think we do. A lot of people think they know the
right,
little 10% clip that they get, you know?
right. I mean, the Sabrina Claudio thing, it was her Twitter. She tweeted it.
Yeah.
Chrissy Teigen, she did it. She tweeted those tweets. You know, she said all
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
But that, but it happened years ago. So they, again, you have to give them an opportunity. You know, hey, like what? Is this really how you feel? Is that how you felt? Is it how you still feel? And if it's
Hmm.
true, if they still feel that way, of course, you know, I don't want to be associated with somebody like that or a corporation like that. But I
Yeah.
just think the the internet is so toxic in itself,
Hmm.
and it's just like these blogs, these nasty blogs, like just post the worst about everybody, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm getting a little over the whole cancel culture thing myself.
Yeah, same. And I also feel like what happens too is that sometimes it's like when it comes to something of race and like a racial type of, underlining thing that's happening, I think that that's a lot of times is easier to cancel, right? Because then it's like, that's a big chunk of people, and also it cuts deep, when it's something racist. It's like when it's something like some curse words or, something else that's not really that big of a deal. I think that more people are like, oh, we could give or take, we could like keep it, or we could cancel them.
Mhm.
And I think that with Chrissy Teigen, with her kind of like insinuating for the person to kill themselves, or kind of going after this young girl, and she did speak up and say like that was more an internal issue that she was like kind of putting on the other person. And for me, I love Chrissy Teigen so much that it was so hard for me to hear this. I was like, what? Like, I just thought it wasn't true. It can't be true. Like, she's so funny and so, bubbly, and she doesn't seem like that type of person. And turns out it was true. And I was just like, I was so torn. I was like, yeah, this is really messed up though. And then at the same time I was like, but I still like her. I
Yeah.
feel, and at the same time, like you said, it's like if it happened 10, 20 years ago, it's like, who are we to hold people to standards that we don't even hold ourselves to? Because we know that we change, we evolve, we grow. And like you said, if someone is coming forward and saying, I want to make a change, I'm better, I'm growing, I'm learning, I want to learn, teach me, then you can't help but feel like, okay, well, maybe we should give this person a chance. But at the same time, like, there was one other, kind of like an example with the Vanderpump Rules people, where I know a few of them, like Stassi, and there was another guy from the show where she had called the police on one of the girls that she worked with, and she knew it wasn't this girl. She knew that this girl was not doing something shady, but she knew that they were looking for a black female. Okay, so she called the police. Yes, called the police and told them that this girl was the person that robbed whatever store, because she had heard this news story that they were looking for this black female, and so she said, oh, I know where she is, this is her address, this is where you can find her. Like, she wanted this girl to get arrested and to go to jail.
It wasn't the girl.
Knowing 100% that it wasn't her. Okay, mind you, yes, Stassi was 20, but that shows like some racial, like, it has racist things in it, because you only were doing it, maybe you don't like this girl, but you were doing this, one, because you knew that it was a black female, and two, because you knew that this girl was going to go to jail, and you knew it was easy. Just claim black, then it's easy. You just put it together, she'll go to jail. I mean, that to me was like, I feel like that was an easy cancel, you know, because it's like, how do you come back from that? But at the same time, right, she's in her 30s now, she was in her 20s then, you know, has she grown, has she changed? I don't know, you know, and I feel like people weren't even giving her a chance to say if she did or not. And but I knew right when I read that story, and I remember when it was like, oh, breaking news, you know, she just got fired from her job for, you know, because this girl came forward and told her story. She had, this story happened so long ago, and then she said, yeah, you know what, I did do that. Like, Stassi, it wasn't just, you know, kind of like a tabloid thing, it was the truth, you know. And so, you know, those type of things, you're kind of like, it's kind of easy to say, I don't want to subscribe to this person, I don't want to buy anything from this person, I don't want to watch a show, me being a black female, you know, me, you know, being in the black community, I don't want to be having anything to do with a person that would that quickly do something like that, because that shows where their head's at, you know. And
so I guess that kind of comes down to, okay, cancel culture. Is it okay for, like, I know that girl has a book, right?
Yeah.
Her, and then Chrissy, she has her stuff in like Target and Macy's and stuff. So is it okay for these companies to drop these people? Like, is that fair? Or should cancel culture strictly be the, like, society, like the people, the fans, the regular people, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's where there's like a fine line. Like, is it fair for these people to just say, you know what, we're done with you, we're not endorsing this? Or is it kind of like, are these companies just on a bandwagon? Does the owner, does the CEO of this company really feel this way? Or are they just trying to make the consumer happy?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I've in my opinion, I know that you probably know too, that most of the time, yeah, they just don't want to be associated. So like, whatever company is canceling them, they want to put out a statement right away and say, like, in no way, shape, or form are we, because they know what society can do. Society can make or break. So if society, or, you know, the who's who decides that they're no longer valid, then there goes their business, there goes their money, there goes their capital. So they have to, you know, disconnect themselves from this person and say, like, nope, we don't want anything, we don't have anything, you know. And in turn, you know, they are feeding that narrative, right? They are feeding that, like, oh, canceling people, instead of like sticking by and saying, you know, it's kind of like, you know, when someone gets arrested and it's when they are about to be, like, you know, put before a case, they're innocent before proven guilty, right? They need, you know, so they're innocent, but a lot of times these celebrities and these people and these companies, corporations, they don't get a chance to have the innocence. It's like they're guilty, you know, before we even say, like, yeah, it's, if it's, you know, if they've had a chance to, like, plead their case, they don't get a chance to plead their case. It's like guilty, done, you know, cancel, you know. And so it is very confusing, you know. And it's, I feel like maybe people are kind of waking up to not be canceling so quickly, like maybe giving people a chance to grow and learn, because that's what we all need. We all need the opportunity to learn from our mistakes. We need the opportunity to be put a mirror in front of us, you know, and saying, what are you doing, what part are you playing, you know. And
I think if I had a large corporation and I was endorsing one of these people, personally, because of my beliefs, depending on the situation, I would have to make that decision to no longer associate my business with that person. Just based off my beliefs. You know me, you know, my friends know me, my family knows me. I don't stand for that one bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No, there's no, no,
There's no
there's
gray
no
area.
toleration.
It's like
Yeah, there's
black and white. Yeah. Uh-huh.
no. So I don't know. Again, it's a little like it's confusing because you
Mhm.
know me, you know I would never associate with somebody like that. But okay, like Target, if they drop Chrissy, like again, are they just doing it because that's what the people want, or do they really feel that that was wrong?
Yeah.
That's where it's just like such a like gray area. I don't know. Like who
Mhm.
do you trust? Who do you like? You know,
Yeah.
it's weird. Cancel
It
culture
is.
is just like a weird thing, you know?
Yeah. I
But
know.
then
It
it's
was
like
supposed
it's
it was created by Generation Z. Gen Z created
of
cancel
course
culture.
Gen Z is
Yeah.
just over here doing the most. But we have to agree that it is raising awareness on these
Yes.
subjects and these topics, you know,
Yes.
because for years and years, you know, there have been these people, these ugly, racist, bad people that have just been, you know, coming up,
Mhm.
and they're like these horrible people and we're supporting it and we don't even know.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
no
and
one's holding them accountable until now.
yeah, so now
Yeah.
it's like we're shedding light on it, which is a positive aspect of the cancel culture. We are shedding light on these issues that everyday people, you know, have to deal with. So that is one
Mhm.
positive thing that has come out of this cancel culture, um, you know, thing is
Mhm.
there is shedding light on these topics, and the internet is just like, you know, free range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video and let us know what you think about cancel culture or any of the
Yeah.
people that we talked about. Give us any suggestions for videos to come, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Okay, let me just stop recording, not
Okay.
end the whole meeting.